Today, we're diving into a story that has it all: palace intrigue, a hidden identity, and a plot for mass murder. You might think it's a modern thriller, but nope, this is the ancient story of Esther, an incredible tale of courage and survival right from the heart of the Persian Empire. And really, this one question is what drives the whole story. Can one person, facing impossible odds, actually change the destiny of an entire nation? Well, let's get into it and see. All right, so picture this. We're in a massive, super wealthy Persian Empire, and it's run by the powerful and kind of unpredictable King Xerxes. And the first domino to fall in this whole crazy chain of events, well, it all starts because the position of queen suddenly becomes available. So it all kicks off when King Xerxes, in a fit of royal rage, basically fires his queen, Vashti. Just like that, she's out. And this single decision creates a huge power vacuum at the very top, sparking a kingdom-wide search for a new queen. And this is where our main character, Esther, steps onto the stage. She's a young Jewish woman, and she's chosen to be the new queen because of her beauty and grace. But here's the thing. On the advice of her cousin Mordecai, she keeps her Jewish heritage a complete secret. She carries that secret with her all the way to the throne. She is now the most powerful woman in the entire empire, and nobody has a clue who she really is. So Esther might be the queen, but that secret she's holding means her people are incredibly vulnerable. And things are about to get really dark because a new, sinister figure is about to come into play. A man whose pure hatred is going to lead to a decree of death. Okay, so enter the villain of our story, Haman. He's the king's top advisor, he's incredibly arrogant, and he demands that everyone bow down to him. But Mordecai, Esther's cousin, refuses. He won't bow to any man. And this one single act of defiance absolutely infuriates Haman. It lights a fuse. And just watch how quickly Haman's personal anger escalates. He goes from being personally ticked off to manipulating the king, whispering lies about the Jewish people. And the king, who has no idea that his own queen is Jewish, actually falls for it. He authorizes a decree to have every single Jewish man, woman, and child in the empire completely annihilated on a specific day. So now there is literally a death sentence hanging over an entire people. The story's at its breaking point, and the fate of the nation rests entirely on the shoulders of the one person who might be able to do something, the secret queen, Esther. Mordecai somehow gets a message to Esther, and he's basically pleading with her to step in and save them. And he asks her this powerful question: what if you were put in this royal position for such a time as this? He's asking her to risk absolutely everything. Think about the choice she has to make. It is just brutal. You see, according to Persian law, you could not just walk up to the king uninvited. It was a crime punishable by immediate death. So option A, she risks her own life. Option B, she stays silent and guarantees the death of her entire people. Her life or the lives of her nation, what would you even do? This is it. This is her moment. After asking all her people to fast with her for 3 days, Esther makes her choice, and she says these incredible words. She decides to risk it all, accepting whatever might happen with just breathtaking courage. Okay, so her decision is made, she's all in. But she isn't just going to rush in blindly. Oh no, she's got a plan, a really, really clever one. The stage is now set for one of the most dramatic and ironic reversals of fortune you'll ever hear. Instead of a direct, panicked confrontation, Esther plays the long game. She invites the king and, get this, Haman too, to a private banquet. And then she invites them to a second one. And at just the right moment, when she has them both right where she wants them, she reveals her secret identity and exposes Haman's evil plot to kill her and her people. But here is the most unbelievable part of the story. Just before all this went down, Haman, in his supreme arrogance, was so sure he was going to win that he had already built a massive gallows specifically to execute his enemy, Mordecai. And we're not talking about some small wooden frame here. The gallows stood 50 cubits high. That's about 75 feet tall. Can you imagine? A towering monument to his own hatred built for everyone to see. So, when the king finds out Haman was plotting against his own queen, he is beyond furious. And in the most perfect, ironic twist of fate you can imagine, he orders Haman to be executed on the very same gallows he had just built for Mordecai. The villain is literally caught in his own trap. You can't make this stuff up. So Haman, the bad guy, is out of the picture.
But there's still a huge problem, right? The decree to destroy the Jewish people, it's still the law of the land. So the final act of this story is all about how they turn that death sentence into a day of victory.
See, back then, a decree from a Persian king was set in stone. It couldn't just be erased. So what do? With the king's permission, Esther and Mordecai write a new decree, and this one gives the Jewish people the right to assemble and to defend themselves against anyone who tries to harm them. And with this new law in hand, they do just that. They successfully defend themselves, and a huge victory is won. The very day that was marked for their destruction is transformed into a day of deliverance and celebration. And this is the origin of the festival of Purim, which is still celebrated to this very day. And this brings us to what might be the most fascinating puzzle of the whole story. In the entire Book of Esther, the name of God is never mentioned. Not one time. And yet, think about all the coincidences. An orphan girl just happens to become queen right before her people are targeted for genocide. A king just happens to have a sleepless night at the exact moment it matters most. A villain's plot unravels with perfect timing. So I'll leave you with this question. Was it all just an incredible string of good luck, or do you see a kind of hidden hand at work, guiding events from behind the scenes?